When someone hurts you, the natural instinct is to react. You want to express your pain, demand answers, or even retaliate. But the real power lies in doing the opposite, staying silent. Silence unsettles people. It forces them to sit with their actions and wonder about your response. When you refuse to engage in an emotional outburst, you take control of the situation. The person who hurt you expects a reaction, maybe even hopes for one. They want confirmation that they still have an effect on you. But when you remain composed, you shift the power dynamic entirely. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. It allows you to process your emotions privately rather than handing over your vulnerability to someone who may not value it. When you go quiet, you create a mystery. People expect confrontation, but when it doesn't come, they start questioning themselves. Did they misjudge you? Did they lose their influence over you? Are you unbothered? This confusion works in your favor because now, instead of you being stuck in emotional turmoil, they are the ones left wondering. Silence also gives you clarity. When emotions run high, words can be reckless. Saying something in the heat of the moment can later become a regret. But when you choose silence, you give yourself the time to step back and assess the situation with a level head. You can decide how to move forward from a place of strength rather than from a place of pain. People often underestimate the power of not responding, but in reality, it is one of the most effective ways to maintain dignity and self-respect. It also changes how people perceive you. Someone who reacts impulsively appears easy to manipulate, but someone who stays silent appears composed, in control, and unpredictable. When people can't predict your moves, they can't play with your emotions. Instead of being the one who chases explanations or closure, you become the one who sets the terms of engagement. They may start seeking your reaction, waiting for you to say something, anything, but when you don't, they are the ones left unsettled. Beyond the psychological impact on the other person, silence allows you to heal properly. Engaging in an argument or emotional battle only keeps you entangled in the situation, but when you choose not to respond, you create space for yourself to detach and focus on your own growth. Instead of feeding into the cycle of hurt, you break it by stepping back and reclaiming your energy. You are no longer giving power to the person who hurt you. Instead, you are redirecting it back to yourself. Silence can also expose the true intentions of the other person. If someone genuinely cares, they will reflect on their actions and possibly make amends. But if they don't, their reaction, or lack thereof, will tell you everything you need to know. Either way, your silence reveals the truth without you having to ask for it. When someone hurts you, the temptation to get even can be strong. The mind races with ways to make them feel the same pain they inflicted on you. But the most powerful form of payback isn't anger or revenge, it's success. When you take all that hurt and channel it into building yourself up, you shift the narrative entirely. The best way to confuse someone who thought they could break you is to rise higher than they ever expected. Pain can either consume you or fuel you. If you let it consume you, you stay stuck in resentment, wasting energy on someone who may not even care. But if you use that pain as motivation, it becomes a catalyst for transformation. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every letdown, these are not reasons to stop moving forward. They are fuel to push harder, to aim higher, to create a life that speaks for itself. Nothing unsettles someone more than seeing the person they underestimated thrive beyond their reach. Success is the ultimate statement. When you redirect your focus from the hurt to your own personal growth, you take control. Instead of wasting time overanalyzing what went wrong, you invest that time in improving yourself. Physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, you start focusing on your goals, your dreams, and your ambitions. When someone who hurt you sees that you are not only unaffected, but actually excelling, it forces them to rethink everything they assumed about you. People often expect those they hurt to stay stuck, to beg for explanations, to seek closure. But when you detach and start winning in life, they are left wondering how you managed to turn the pain into something powerful. They may check in, they may ask around, they may even try to come back, not out of love, but out of curiosity, because they never expected you to rise this high. That's the moment when you truly realize that success is the greatest response. Becoming successful doesn't mean proving something to them. It means proving something to yourself. It means turning your pain into power and refusing to let someone else's actions define your future. The energy spent dwelling on the past is energy that could be used to create something extraordinary. Every moment spent thinking about what they did is a moment that could be spent on building yourself up. When you shift your mindset from being a victim to being a creator of your own destiny, you become unstoppable. Success doesn't always mean material wealth or public recognition. It means inner peace, self-respect, and personal growth. It means reaching a point where you genuinely no longer care about what they think or feel because you are too busy focusing on your own progress. There is no better revenge than living a life so fulfilling that the person who once hurt you becomes irrelevant. While they are stuck in their old patterns, you are evolving, growing, and creating a reality that exceeds anything they could have imagined. When someone hurts you, the natural reaction is to hold on, whether to the pain, the memories, or the need for closure. But true power lies in detachment. Not bitterness, not resentment, just pure detachment. The ability to let go without anger, without drama, and without seeking revenge is one of the most confusing things you can do to someone who expected you to be broken. People expect reactions, they expect an emotional response, and when they don't get it, they start questioning their own influence over you. Detachment is not about ignoring what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about deciding that your peace is more important than any explanation they could give. It's about realizing that closure doesn't come from them, it comes from you. When you detach gracefully, you send a silent message that you are no longer emotionally invested in their actions. That's what truly unsettles people. They don't know what you're thinking, they don't know how you feel, and they don't know if they ever truly matter to you in the way they once believed. Graceful detachment means you don't beg, you don't argue, and you don't try to prove anything. You simply remove your energy from the situation. No angry texts, no late night calls, no desperate attempts to make them understand your worth. Instead, you walk away with a sense of calm that they never saw coming, and that is what confuses them the most. Because when someone expects you to fall apart and instead you rise, they are left questioning everything. Most people operate in patterns. They expect the same reactions they have always received. But when you break that pattern, when you don't cry, when you don't lash out, when you don't seek validation, it forces them to look at you differently. It forces them to wonder if they ever had the impact on you that they believe they did. They may even try to provoke a reaction just to see if they still hold any power. But when you remain unmoved, when you carry yourself with quiet confidence, you become a mystery they can't figure out. Detachment also gives you back control over your emotions. Instead of being at the mercy of their words or actions, you decide how you want to feel. You no longer allow their presence or absence to dictate your happiness. And when you reach that point, you become untouchable. No amount of manipulation, no amount of guilt tripping, and no amount of emotional games can affect you anymore. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you choose not to let their actions define your state of mind. It means you prioritize your own well-being over the need to engage in emotional battles. It's a quiet but powerful way of saying, I respect myself too much to entertain this any further. And that kind of self-respect is rare. It's what makes people regret losing you. It's what makes them wonder if they ever truly knew you at all. Confidence is one of the most powerful things you can possess, especially when someone has tried to hurt you. When you carry yourself with unshakable confidence, you send a message that their actions did not break you. This is confusing to people who expect you to crumble. They assume their words, their betrayal, or their absence will leave you feeling small, but when you continue to walk with your head held high, they are left questioning everything. Confidence is not about arrogance or proving a point. It's about knowing your worth so deeply that no external situation can shake it. When someone hurts you, they often do it with the assumption that they have some level of control over how you feel. They expect sadness, self-doubt, or insecurity to take over, but when you exude confidence, when you continue to radiate self-assurance, they begin to wonder if they ever had any power over you at all. The key to unshakable confidence is to focus on yourself, not them. It's easy to get lost in overanalyzing their behavior, replaying conversations in your mind, or trying to understand their motives. But real confidence comes from redirecting that energy into self-improvement. It means reminding yourself of your value, reinforcing your strengths, and committing to your own personal growth. When you do this, you naturally start to carry yourself differently. You speak with certainty, you move with purpose, and you stop seeking validation from those who never deserved your attention in the first place. Nothing confuses someone more than seeing you thriving when they expected you to be struggling. When they see you smiling, enjoying your life, and embracing your own power, they start to wonder if they ever truly mattered to you. They may even question their own significance in your story. This is not about playing games. It's about genuinely realizing that your worth is not tied to someone else's actions. When you reach that level of confidence, you stop worrying about what they think, because you are too focused on building the life you deserve. Confidence is also about how you carry yourself. It's in the way you walk into a room, the way you speak, and the way you interact with the world. People notice when someone carries an aura of self-assurance. They can sense when you are unaffected by negativity, and that in itself is powerful. When someone who hurt you sees that you are not bitter, not broken, and not seeking revenge, it forces them to reevaluate everything they assumed about you. They may even start to feel regret, not necessarily because they miss you, but because they realize they never had as much control over you as they thought. True confidence comes from within. It's built through daily habits, through discipline, through self-care, and through surrounding yourself with people who uplift you. It's about knowing that your value does not decrease because someone failed to see it. When you embrace this mindset, you become immune to the games people play. You become the kind of person who cannot be shaken no matter what happens.